Well, let's head back now. Home, of course, of the Carling Cup. And boy, were there some fabulous scenes of celebrations yesterday. Nick, over to you.
And here it is. Right, I'm touching it. And Dan is too, because you were there yesterday, weren't you? What a marvellous day it was.
It was just absolutely incredible. The fans were so noisy, the performance was fantastic of the players, such a dramatic ending. An hour after the game, I mean, in the streets, they were literally still jumping up and down. I mean, it means so much to them. And I heard on WM today, the thing that brought it home to me was a fan was talking about how he'd had his photo before the game with a black and white Carling ribbons on, and his 16-year-old son said, "We're bringing this back on Sunday," and he said, "Maybe, son," trying to tell him, this is Blues, it doesn't happen. Well,
it has.
It did. It's actually real. It's just the most, and that's what it means to the fans. It's always there forever. They actually had their moment in the sun. Yes, it's been a long time coming. The celebrations are still going on. We'll have more from Nick and our guest here in a moment. But before that, Ian Winter takes a look back at Blues' amazing day at Wembley.
Little Boy Blue, come blow your horn and celebrate a flipping marvellous victory for Birmingham City. One joyful Nigerian head over heels and 31,000 fans in seventh heaven. The new Wembley has never seen anything like it. Today's the day we've waited for. They sang their hearts out to Mr. Blue Sky. And what a contrast to the grey skies barely a couple of hours earlier. They gazed up at Bobby Moore, not quite believing this was happening to them. Most had made the short hop from Birmingham. Some had travelled much further, like 15-year-old Jack from Johannesburg.
It's my first final. This is my third game that I've come to see for Birmingham, and I'm really excited. Hopefully we can pull away with the win.
You've travelled all the way from Oregon in the United States for this.
In Oregon, just for this game.
Who's going to win then?
Definitely Birmingham City, of course.
And Heidi was spot on. Less than half an hour played when the underdogs stunned the aristocrats. Nikola Zigic rose head and shoulders above the rest to put the Blues in front, and the loudest half of Wembley Stadium began to believe it could be their day. Even when Robin van Persie put Arsenal level 6 minutes before half-time, the Blue Nosers never lost the faith. They've been singing "Keep Right On" till the end of the road since 1956, and that persistence paid off 90 seconds from the end. One defensive blunder, one open goal, one giant Birmingham party. Can you quite believe it? You've led Birmingham City into Europe.
Yeah, well, that's for another day. That's for another. Tomorrow's another day, as they say.
And Carson was delighted as well, wasn't he, on his
Carson was
birthday?
delighted on his birthday. I think he thinks it's dead easy in England. You know, 9th position last year, a cup this season. He'll be looking for maybe something even better next season.
So a cup winner's medal for McLeish, a hard blue hat for Obafemi Martins, and priceless memories of their triumphant trip to Wembley for thousands of Birmingham City supporters. Ian Winter, BBC Midlands Today.
I've got a couple more guests now. Fan Paul Collins, former captain Martin O'Connor. First of all, Paul, I mean, what's your abiding memory of yesterday?
Oh, absolutely tremendous. I actually entered heaven yesterday without dying. You know, it's just been a quest to see Birmingham City win a major cup at Wembley. You know, people, it's a journey, and there's a lot of people that have died on that journey. We had 31,000 fans supporting us, and about 3 million from heaven looking down. And so when Stephen Carr picked that cup up, there was grown men crying, and I was one of them. It was the most emotional day, apart from seeing my 4 kids being born, the greatest day of my life. Thank you.
And Martin, sorry, Paul, what a performance from the team overall.
Superb. I thought Alex got it spot on with his team selection. His substitutions added a bit of spark when they needed to, and justly got their result.
And now they've got the problem of Europe. What a nice problem that is.
Fantastic.
Next season.
Fantastic problem. And, you know, you look at it and you think, hopefully, we'll be in Europe as a Premiership side.
And when you were captain 10 years ago at Cardiff, you know just what it's like to be involved in such a match.
Yeah, you know, you've got to give credit to the players. They were fantastic, the staff. But for me, going down as a supporter yesterday, the supporters need, you know, medals themselves, because it was unbelievable for 90 minutes.
Oh, that's superb. Thanks, gents. But of course, it was a great weekend for the Blues. But elsewhere in the Premier League, there are also big wins for Aston Villa and Wolverhampton Wanderers.
They both knew it. Managers Mick McCarthy and Ian Holloway knew Saturday's game was a vital one for Wolves and Blackpool in the Premier League. And from as early as Matt Jarvis's second-minute opener, it proved to be a day when everything went right for the Wolves. By half-time, it was even better when the Blackpool striker DJ Campbell was sent off for shoving defender Richard Stearman in the face. Wolves took full advantage. Jamie O'Hara extended their lead, and substitute Sylvan Ebanks-Blake filled his boots. He scored twice as Wolves triumphed 4-0 to climb out of the bottom three.
I can't remember coming off the pitch this year and thinking, we were lucky today. Got away with that with a real slice of good fortune. We had a fabulous goal to start with, but they get one sent off, and maybe it was our day, maybe it was our lucky day.
Aston Villa also gave themselves some breathing space at the wrong end of the table, thrashing Blackburn 4-1. Ashley Young's penalty was followed by an own goal from Grant Hanley. So by the time Stuart Downing got among the goals, it was game over. The action wasn't finished though. Nikola Kalinic pulled one back for Rovers, but Villa had the final word with Young's second. The result sees Villa up to 12th in the table.
Smiles all around in the Midlands, would you believe it? Where if you're a Blues fan, you want to celebrate further, there's a special phone-in on BBC WM, starts at 7 p.m. this evening, followed by commentary of West Bromwich Albion's game at Stoke City. You can also find that, of course, on BBC Radio Stoke. Don't forget, late kick-off, it's here on BBC1 at 11:15 tonight, when Dan Walker will be speaking to the Hereford manager, Jamie Pittman. Nick, back to you and the trophy and Jasper.
And Jasper, yeah. Would you describe this as the greatest day, sporting day of your life yesterday?
It's got to be very close. That or the Leyland Daff, one of the two, Nick. Now, I can't remember a sporting day like that. That was fantastic. And I was so thrilled for the fans. They were desperate for success. And I was amongst them, you know. I mean, I've suffered decades of disappointment and
been
letdowns.
right down there.
Oh, and how, you know. And then, and no one could believe it at the end. No one wanted to leave the stadium. Nobody, and I mean, you know, they had to almost get that bloke on a white horse to get them all out.
Do you feel this is the start of greater things to come?
Well, you know, I mean we're in Europe.
Isn't it?
Yeah, we're in Europe, so I think the club will become more attractive to players who, you know, who want to experience European football. And once you've won some silverware, you get that kudos. And I think the confidence now within the team must be immense. And we've got a long slog to go. You know, we need to keep in the Premier. But if they can play like that, well, you know, the sky's the limit.
Great stuff. You're a very happy man, aren't you?
I am indeed.
Thanks for coming to talk to us tonight.
It's a pleasure.
And well done to Blues and
you,
all the fans. Back to you, Susan. We'll be back here a little later on.
Yeah, thanks very much, chaps. If only the weather was exciting at the moment. It's bleak.